Well, this is kind of not a first. I made a video earlier and then I deleted it off my computer by mistake. So I'm back out making another one. But it's the same day, just an hour or so later. But I've been fighting with this engine to try to get it to run. And I couldn't quite figure out what the issue was. Everything was set up right. You know, I had the, finally got the timing right. And take that valve cover off. But, yeah, I got my timing all right. Everything was set up right. And I watched a video, and a good guy to watch is his YouTube name is Jay Walker, and he had a I can't think what year, it was a 40-something Chevy that he redid, but it had a 216 Chevy engine. This is a 207, but he had a really nice video explaining how to set all your valve lash. And so I just went through that yesterday to try to get it to, you know, set, which I did. And makes it a whole lot easier the way he says. But anyway, I tried to start it yesterday and it wouldn't start. Still scratching my head. So the battery was getting low, so I put the battery on the charger. And today I come out here and I try to give it another go, and it just didn't want to fire. So I bought today a can of starting fluid, and I took and started squirting that starting fluid down in that carburetor, and it fired. Now, yeah, I didn't have the camera on at that time. I just was farting around, didn't know if it would run or not. But anyway, I got it to run. So, sorry I didn't get the first start on the camera, but I'm going to show you now it running. Now, give you a little history into this engine. I have had it since 2011. And when I bought it, you've seen some of the pictures of the truck sitting beside that guy's building. It was in the middle of the winter. I don't know, that guy didn't have it that long. He bought it from somebody. It has not run in many, many years. I don't know how many. Basically what had happened to the engine is the cam gear down in here came apart, and so it wouldn't run. That's why it was parked. But it was definitely in need of a lot of TLC. And so we rebuilt the engine, or had the engine rebuilt. I did not do it. And got it back. And like I said, it's been a long process. Almost 10 years now that I have messed with this thing. And like I said, this summer we got it going pretty good thanks to the pandemic. I guess you got to look at the positive things that would happen with that pandemic. And allowed me to get this thing up and running. And there's our little kitty cat. And so as a result, I've been messing with the engine ever since we got it all together, trying to get it to start. Well, it just wouldn't work. So let me put you on the tripod over here. It's going to be pretty loud, because that's the exhaust pipe. There is no muffler. So you'll have to bear with me, but I'll try to, I'm not going to talk while it's running, but I'll just show you that it does run. I need to do a lot of tweaking. The carburetor bowl tends to leak some fuel. Comes out the bottom underneath here somewhere. And so that needs to be done. What I'm trying to get it to do is to draw fuel up from the fuel pump. And so far I haven't been able to do that. But I can fill up the bowl through the vent tube. And but it won't start on its own. That's the problem. So far I've just have to start it with starting fluid every time. But it tends to, I don't have a spring on my linkage. I don't have it together yet. So I have to keep my finger down like that or it really races. And so I'll do that. But anyway, let me set you up here and we'll bring you back when I get ready to fire up. Okay, we're going to try getting her going. I'm going to have to try to yell. I don't have a remote microphone. I'll try to yell loud enough so you can hear me. We will try filling the carburetor up with fuel and going this route first. And this helps it run a little bit longer, plus after it fires off of the starting fluid, then it does pick up the fuel and run on the fuel. So we'll try to start it with the gas, but I don't think it's going to start. And I can see already it's still leaking there. I don't know what the deuce the problem is there. I rebuilt that carburetor. Let me get it set up here. I got to put my hot wire on my starter. Put my starter on. And this gives me a hot wire to my coil. And we're good to go. So I get this situated here. Okay, everything's good. Like I said, I gotta hold this down or it really races. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna take a look at this oil pressure too. As you can see, it just doesn't want to start off of the fuel. I don't know what the deal is yet. Part of the tweaking that has to be done. Pour a little gas down in the carburetor to see if that does something. coming out of the inside of that engine. There's no coolant in it whatsoever. So, yeah, you don't want to get it real hot. But you can see it runs. I mean, it doesn't run real smooth. I don't know what the issues are right yet. I'm going to have to play with adjusting this. There's an adjustment screw here on the back that I was playing with, but that doesn't seem to do much. So, a lot of fine tuning. I'll play with the timing a bit too, and we'll see if we can get it to smooth out a little bit. But first thing I got to do is get a radiator put up front and a frame. Get it plumbed up, and so that we can run it for longer periods of time. But it's a runner. She's alive, and like I said, I've had it since 2011, so 10 years, and I probably sit 20 years, 30 years, who knows how long it sit, and but it's alive, it works. So I'll be anxious to be able to get it to run longer. Then I can play around with some of the clutch, and I'll jack up the rear end of it up, and then I'll put it in gear, and we'll see if we can get the transmission to function and the rear end to function like it should, which it should be all fine. And but yeah, we'll go from there. So she's coming along. That's a big hurdle, getting that engine to run. So anyway, I want to thank everybody for watching, subscribing, following along with this build. And yeah, this gives me a little bit of incentive to keep going. It was my biggest kind of a downer that I couldn't get it to run, but today I did. So you got to see it. Anyway, thanks for watching, and we will talk to you all soon.